Okay, let's talk about Henry Cejudo versus Dominick Cruz. This is, I mean, this is a brilliant fight. In one respect, it depends on which Dominick Cruz we get. If we get the old Dominick Cruz, not the one that even fought Cody Garbrandt or TJ Dillashaw, but the one that used to fight Uriah Faber and those boys back in the day. Before 2011, that sort of Dominick Cruz would probably win this fight. I don't think the one that we even saw against Faber, the recent fight with Faber, or Cody Garbrandt, or TJ Dillashaw would beat someone like Henry Cejudo. He's gone through a lot of injuries. The last time Dominick Cruz fought was in 2016. He was meant to come back in December 2017, but apparently he broke his arm then. And, I give him credit. He wants to come back and fight. He's 35 years old. He hasn't fought as many times as he would have if he didn't get injured. But he's been too inactive for me. For really, like stylistically, he could beat someone like a Cejudo, especially if Cejudo in his recent way of fighting is that he likes to stand up and fight. Someone like Dominick Cruz, he's got that sort of outpoint style. He doesn't go to knock you out, right? He can throw punches. He'll throw big punches, but he's not there to knock you out. He's there to win on points, right? But he's technically gifted at doing it. Like, he'll outpoint you. He's got decent wrestling. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's got a good background in jiu-jitsu. But he mostly goes for standing. He'll throw little leg kicks. He'll throw a leg kick to the knee. He'll throw a leg kick to the body. He'll then would come from different angles and throw different punches in different. He's just one of those fighters that you love to watch because he's always active. He's always doing something. And he's kind of dancing around the octagon, right? Which is different from other fighters. He fought TJ Dillashaw, right? That was a split decision victory. Arguably, that could have gone to TJ Dillashaw. It depends on what you looked at. If you looked at damage, then you would say TJ Dillashaw won. But because if you're looking at more point scoring, then we would lean towards Dominick Cruz. I think Dominick Cruz would then pip him. But then he fought Cody Garbrandt and he looked slower. Cody was actually faster than him, surprisingly. And then he dropped Dominick. Caused damage to Dominick. Something that I don't think Dominick's ever really felt to that level. It was surprising. So for him, he doesn't need to take this fight. And it's surprising that he took something like this. I think he's just trying to prove himself, but I don't think he needs to prove anything to the fans. For him to then take this fight against someone like Henry Cejudo, who's at the top of his game, this is going to be tough. This all depends on how he comes out of this and what Cejudo turns up. Because I just feel at this moment, I think Cejudo will win it. He's got the arsenal, but it's only if a certain game plan happens or if obviously not the right Cruz turns up. So what I mean by that is that I think Cejudo would take Cruz down. Like, if he took Cruz down and held him there constantly, because he looks the stronger opponent. Like, for me, Cejudo's done well in the sense that he fought someone like Moraes, he fought someone like TJ Dillashaw, and then he fought someone like Demetrius Johnson. So when he fought Demetrius Johnson, he surprised everyone with the speed, and he outpointed someone like Demetrius Johnson. Some people thought Johnson won, but I actually thought Cejudo won. He outpointed Demetrius Johnson, right? Then he went to TJ Dillashaw. Even though TJ went down, there was no reason for anyone to think Cejudo was going to win that, because TJ is the naturally bigger, faster. Well, he was the faster, bigger fighter. Everyone is expecting, and Cejudo wiped him clean. The power that of nowhere outstruck him, and then he outstruck Moraes. He beat Moraes, who just beat Aldo on a split. Okay, could have gone either way, but still beat Aldo on a split. So now his resume is really high. Like, for me, though tactically, I think Cejudo needs to take Dominic to the floor. He needs to take him to the ground, right? He needs to, because of obviously Cruz's speed and reach, Cejudo needs to, come close and then be able to just take him down. I think it would be the wrong idea to go for strikes, because if the right Cruz turns up, then Cejudo's in trouble. Like if the real Cruz turns up, somehow he, miraculously his training camp went really well, even in this sort of time, then that would be really bad for Cejudo. But another thing that is worrying for Cejudo is that Cejudo did just come off a shoulder injury. So he might not be the same. We don't know, right? And plus, everyone, even when I was talking about Ferguson and Gaethje, and now these two, remember, there's no crowd in the stadium. I wonder how they're training right now with the sparring partners and stuff. It's going to be difficult. So it's more of an even playing field, though I do think Cejudo has it. But if that shoulder injury or anything ruptures again, then Cruz should take it. But for me, Cruz doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. He has done it all. But for him to come back, I mean, if he wins, it's going to be significant for his resume. But then he should retire. I don't think he needs to then prove himself. He's beaten the guy who's beaten everyone, right? Because he's beaten Demetrius Johnson in the past. Okay, probably, that's when Demetrius Johnson was really young, but Cruz is still beating him. But then, to beat Cejudo, who's beaten the guy, Cruz won't have anything to prove. But if I were to predict, I think Cejudo is going to win on points. I don't see how Cruz can win this.